Meet me in the foyer.
When you meet me in the foyer, you can rely that you're meeting with someone who knows someone, with one of the finest critical minds in the world of motion pictures, which is just right, as it takes a mastermind to know a mastermind. So here is Mastermind Linda walking up to the big black chair, settling in the spotlight, and bringing us a review of the new heist film, The Mastermind, starring Josh O'Connor. Linda.
This is the third Josh O'Connor movie I've seen in the last couple of weeks, and he is, I have to say, just turning into one, like, if not my favorite current actor, into one of my favorite actors. I've seen him in Wake Up That Dead Man, the Knives Out movie. He's
Mm.
absolutely brilliant in that. Just, you know, very intense performance, as well as like comedic sort of air to it. I also saw him in the History of Sound, which the Oliver Hermanos movie, which I wasn't super convinced by. Unfortunately, he is the best thing in it. And
Okay.
then he stars in the new Kelly Reichardt. I don't know if you know of Kelly Reichardt, but she is one of my favorite directors. She's done Certain Women. She's done Meats Cut Off, First Cow. Oh, she's just a absolutely wonderful, very understated director who works with kind of Americana subjects. Like she's someone who uses a very sort of downbeat tone to broach these subjects that nobody else does. And she's brilliant. I don't know if you've seen any of her films, but I'm like a huge fan of her work. I think she's quietly one of the most underrated filmmakers are working right now. And she does things. She appears every couple of years with these absolutely brilliant movies that just all critics love. And I don't know how well they do in the cinema, but for me, this is fantastic. This is being released by Mubi in the UK. I don't know who's got it elsewhere, but just another wonderful movie and another fantastic performance by Josh O'Connor. So the story is inspired by the 1972 robbery of the Worcester Art Museum in Massachusetts, in which two Gauguin, a Picasso, and a Rembrandt were stolen. So, and the mastermind, the Josh kind of plays James Blaine Mooney, who is a kind of a loser, really. He's from like an upper middle class. Actually no, a rather upper class family. His dad is a judge, his mum is a politician, but he's a married man with two children who has absolutely no prospects, no future. He went and studied architecture at university, but has done absolutely nothing with his life, and finds himself. He reckons himself as some kind of mastermind, some kind of really intelligent guy. So when we first meet him, he's scoping out this museum where these uh, paintings are being kept. And he's about as subtle as a heart attack. He thinks he's really clever, but he isn't. He doesn't really know what he's doing. So he borrows t money from his mum. Again, she's a local politician, and he borrows money from her to organize a heist to pay these two heavies to go and steal for him. And he also pays a getaway driver who lets him down at the last minute, and he basically becomes a getaway driver. From here on, everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Um, I won't go on too much because it's really fun to sort of, it's really gripping. It's really fun. It's very understated. It's not something like it's not. He is like an anti-hero, but he's got very little charm about him. But about the same time, you can't help but sort of root for this completely helpless character who doesn't really know what he's doing or what he's doing with his life. There's some really fabulous performances here by, again, Josh O'Connor, Alana Haim from the Haim band, who's also in Licorice Pizza. Hope Davis plays Sarah Mooney, who is the mother of James in Josh Connor's character. We have also Bill Camp plays Judge Williams Mooney, the main character's father. Some, as I say, some really fantastic performances here. There's like an air of like sort of humor, comedy, but I know Kelly Reichardt, and I've interviewed, like, not as a friend, I've interviewed her a couple of times, and she's someone who is very serious. She's just very. I don't want to like misrepresent this woman, but she's a very serious woman. She's a very dour woman. That's why I was quite surprised by the comedic tone of this movie. I loved it. I just think it's not as good as First Cow, which I think is her probably best movie. However, I do think of the three films I saw Josh Connor in this last couple of weeks, this is the best one, and I just think he's fabulous. He can play in three different. Not, I'm not going to review those other movies because I'm going to leave it till the release date for them. But just of the three performances, he plays three completely different sort of characters, and he manages it with such ease and subtlety and simplicity. I am in awe, and I don't know if any other actor can do that. I think he is just fabulous. Plays an American character in this, and also in actually the two other movies as well. And they're all set in different eras, and they are all very different, and manages to capture that kind of accent of the regional accent, the way people speak. I am so impressed by him, and yeah, fabulous movie again. Like, I'm a huge fan of Kelly Reichardt, and any movie from her is a welcome addition to any sort of festival program. Yeah, again, as I said, this is going to be released on Mubi. I don't know if it's getting a theatrical release, but you can watch it on Mubi as on streaming if you pay for Mubi. There you go.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I have to say this is not in my area of expertise at all. I looking as you were reading, I was, sorry, as you were speaking, I was doing a bit of reading, and the only Josh O'Connor film I've seen is Florence Foster Jenkins, which I can't remember what role he played in that. And the only one of her films I've seen is
God's Old Country, Own Country. You haven't seen that?
no, no.
He's really good in that.
And her film, the only film I've hers I've seen is First Cow,
Oh,
which
that's a great movie.
I know was critically loved, but I didn't hate it or love it. It just left me completely neutral. I didn't
You
quite
just have
get it.
like, I think with her, for me, there are some things about her filmmaking that I admire. What I love about her filmmaking is that she's in no hurry to do stuff. She
Mm,
wants to give you the impression. So the First Cow is about the sort of the first, people go into the west of America, and sort of like the gold rush, and and it's about an atmosphere. It's about sort of capturing that moment in time. It's about capturing how people would have spoken, how they would have interacted with each other, how they would have spoken to each other, how it's almost like a history lesson with her. And if you're not open to that kind of filmmaking, then that's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not having the time or the sort of the patience for that kind of very slow filmmaking
mm,
genre. I have that. I love that because I'm someone who watches so many movies a year, and it's very important for me that I really love the subject, and it's really important for me that I love the filmmaking, the sort of the textures of things that are being filmed. And I get bored very easily when it's like big explosions, and it's like um, silly sort of concepts and silly premises. But with her, I have not. I think her films are just extraordinary, and I really like the slowness of them because you get to really know the characters.
mm, mm.
Yeah, it's just
No,
me.
no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. I think I don't mind a slow film at all. I think perhaps I had a misconception with First Cow, and I think I went into it thinking it was a comedy,
Ah,
and
right. Okay.
yeah, it's not.
No, it's not.
So
Devastating,
my mistake.
actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
a very sad movie, actually, if you think about it. Yeah.
I have to watch it again. I have to watch it again. As I say,
Oh, please do, because you would love it. And also watch Certain Women. It's so good.
okay.
Such a good movie.
Well, I'll have a little marathon then, and then try Mastermind because this sounds like it could be my way in. It's marvelous. Well, that's Linda's first review of the week, and sounds like a winner.
Meet me in the foyer.